Welcome back to the supporter stream. Right as I clicked on the start stream, my Jitsi server just crashed on me, so hopefully it comes back. We'll see what happens. We have super good internet speeds here. We got like 30 up and 30 down and stuff. So let's go ahead and pull that back in, see if everyone's still there or not. All right, we got a number of folks still in. Of course, with this laptop, sometimes my web browser or the Jitsi server does weird things, but all right, it appears to be working. So let's go ahead and do that and unmute the guests. Hello, everyone. Can we hear each other or not? Check. Anybody? Mark, I see you. Hello. Greetings. We're all spying on Mark. All right.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, as soon as I push that button, Jitsi server's like, nope, I'm going to die. I hope you're all doing well.
It crashed on me.
Who knows? Maybe it was the lightning hit the server, hit the Linode server. All right, why do I still have these hearts coming up? It's like it only happens on this laptop. I get like hearts flowing up on my comment thread. I guess that's people hitting the like button.
Nah,
or the
lightning
button.
can't hit that on that server.
Oh, I'm getting hundreds now. Is that pizzas? Party balls? I'm getting all sorts of cool stuff. All right, sweet. We got neat stuff going on the YouTube chat because we're running on the laptop again. We've been day two of some pretty bad weather out here. I am, if you've been following the amazingly destructive storm that's going to kill us all. Yeah, I'm in the middle of it. In fact, yesterday I was going to camp right on this amazing, beautiful lakeside. It was totally awesome. And then I checked the phone at like 12:30 last night. All right, let's see what our final status is looking like. And we got a tornado watch. We have 2 separate flood warnings, one north of me, one south of me. And we have severe thunderstorm. I'm like, you know what? Sitting on a dirt road in between 2 lakes is probably not a good idea. So I get up about 12:30 in the morning and I drive about a mile and a half down the road was a boat ramp. So I'm like, all right, let's go overnight at that boat launch. So we went to the boat launch last night. It was great. Wonderful place. And then drove up the road a little bit, found a little shopping plaza, and I've been squatting in the shopping plaza ever since. I was thinking maybe if I just start throwing some garbage out the back, everyone will just think I'm a homeless bum or something. So, we'll do that. How you guys doing? Dan, I think you've been in the middle of the crazy weather, right? You got some ice?
Yeah, that was last week. I got one big ice storm, and then it took a break for a day, and then another one moved in for the next day.
Okay, good.
So there's lots of people around here that are still without power.
Oh, okay. That's always wonderful, especially when they're like, hey, everyone needs to use electricity, and you have regular power outages in the wintertime. I swear, the globalists do want us all dead. Isn't that great? Thank you. I have multiple ways of eating.
Absolutely, they want us
I have
dead.
3 ways of cooking and 2 ways of heating my van. All right, Mark, what's the weather like where you're at?
Well, unfortunately, I don't know. I'm not used to this weather app, but in Dallas, U.S., I've got the open weather app on Cinnamon. I love it.
I don't know what it is now. I can't look out the window, but in Dallas, it's...
Yeah, it's like because my VPN isn't, I'm in Dallas, so broken clouds in Dallas.
Dallas is recovering.
Texas.
I think
Moderate
Dallas
rain
was
today.
kind of in the middle of the really bad weather. Ivan, what's it like where you're at?
It's cool and it's
If you're in Dallas, you got some severe thunderstorms rolling right through pretty soon.
Yeah. Okay, Ivan, is that a are you using the Jitsi background filter or is that an actual background?
That's an actual background. I built it last week right before the stream.
I was like, that is too good to be the crappy Jitsi background thing. That's awesome. That looks really good. And of course, Salbu's got the background stuff. Unless he actually is on a spaceship right now. But
nice.
So that's not bad green screen. That's actually Jitsi's internal system that allows you to set a custom background. So, but yeah, how's it going?
Yeah, the fun part about the good part about my computer setup is that when I look at the other screen, it actually looks like I'm monitoring the computers next to me on the image.
I have a handbrake going right now to re-encode a video down smaller. It's been going for an hour and a half now. It's got 3 minutes left, so woohoo! And then I'm shutting off the inverter for the van for a little bit. So, all right. Yeah, all right. Let's see other things. I think, guys, I've decided that the neck beard is going to go away soon. We have some professional conferences coming up next week, and I'd kind of like to go in there looking a lot more presentable and clean cut rather than like a homeless van dwelling bum or something.
Yeah, somebody crawled out of a cave.
Yeah. I mean, I might smell like somebody crawled out of a cave. In fact, I just finally bought some new cargo pants today. I couldn't find good cargo pants, and there's ones I have. I bought them from Walmart like the day I left. On my first loop around the country, I wear them almost every day. They're like internally, like they have, they're interlined with like wool interlined, so they're really comfortable and really warm. But they're just got holes in both knees, and they got other holes showing up in unmentionable regions. I'm like, I gotta find another one. Walmart had one pair left on clearance for like $9. I'm like, it's mine. So. So I did that, and I'm gonna shave off the beard. I know most of you guys really like it, and I'm 50-50. I actually lean towards not liking it. I get food stuck in it. I get coffee stuck in it. It causes me to dribble, and it's hot right now because it's really hot where I'm at. So yeah, I'm gonna shave.
As a libertarian who's not gay, I support whatever hair you want to wear.
Yeah, well, you know,
however you want to do it. I don't care.
I know. Matt Walsh will be mad because isn't one of his parts of his Matt Walsh songs like "Any man who can grow a beard's got to grow one." It's like,
just go.
Sorry,
totally
Matt, I just don't agree
skinhead.
with you on this one. You know.
Yeah.
Just go totally skinhead.
I'm not going full skinhead, but
I think like DT.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to pull out the clippers and I'm going to get really short hair again. So, we'll do that.
As I was trying to say, the good thing about having this big beard is that you can pass for an old Unix guru.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, I like shaving it off so I'm kind of undercover. You don't see me coming. Yeah, you know, that's kind of what I like to do. But you know, let's check in on comments. You guys, if anybody's on locals, I thought I had my locals password on the other computer. I was going to port it over, and it was not over there. So I must have it saved in the browser. Which you probably shouldn't do, but whatever. I did apparently. And so I was not able to actually get locals up today. I did actually transfer the BitChute one over, so I can actually get onto BitChute and actually interact over there. But let's go ahead and check in on comments. We got 16 viewers over on the Tubies. Ashton Snap, how's it going there? Ashton was on earlier, but I think he was having issues again, and so. That's that. Moonbase Self Grace. Greetings, Commodore Fan 64. Howdy. I just gotta close this laptop lid. And the hinge is broken, so I have to push down on one side when I close it. It's about time for a new laptop. All right. Moonbase Self Grace. Don't take me to your leader. The sweaty zombie's in. Sweaty zombie. Ew. All right. Hello, Tony. Speaking in languages I cannot comprehend. Raining there as well. Yeah, I'm actually pretty close to you, Commodore Fan. I'm still a few hours away, but I'm actually pretty close to you. Dr. Penguin. Hello, Mr. Popper. I'll just call you Mr. Popper. Let's see, pulling around 450 down tonight. There you go. I did forget to tell my friend about how good that's working for you. 76 and thundery over there. Oh, yeah, you're not too far from where I'm at either. I think you're more south of me, Ashton. Devoured Eagle, greetings. I think he's over on... Are you over on Rumble, too, I think, right? The cat is doing well. One of them is over here sleeping. The other one's up front sleeping. Look at my beard as a food saver. That's... Yeah, I don't know. I'm always having issues with this thing. I don't know why, if anybody has any advice for Ashton, are you trying to try the Flatpak app as well? That might work for you. We got 18 currently watching on Odyssey, wherever on Odyssey this bad boy go. Never seen Windows customized in my life. Only seen customizations from Michael MJD videos. Yeah, we'll chat a little bit about that when we get there. I'm gonna wear a tinfoil hat from when you say that Jailbars OS has stunted netbooks. So, let's see. Hello, Jewel. Greetings. Love your backgrounds. Caveman beard, good. Razor, bad.
Yeah. Just see my joke down below.
I could almost pass it. I mean, I was thinking maybe I could just shave it down a little bit, just trim it down. But you know what? I'm gonna go clean shaven. Why not? You know. I know this. I am only 2 months. It only took me 2 months to grow this. So if I really want a beard, I'm only 2 months away from being a total Linux geek neckbeard. So that's all good. For anybody that did miss it, we did do, it was not well viewed yet, but we did do band news on Tuesday. So you can go back and watch the replay on Rumble Odyssey. And I uploaded the video over onto BitChute. So if you missed band news, you can jump on over there. And Devoured Eagles over there on Rumble, 9 watching over there. Greetings. 1 watching on Twitch, no comments, and I don't think I have any new comments on the Lost Stepchild of D-Live. All right, so I'm trying to think if there's any other announcements. How is the van doing? Love your show. Very good. Yeah, I have not gotten a chance to do a van dueling video for a while. I'm working on getting the schedule panned out, and I'm trying to get the income up a little bit higher and things like that. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm going. So with that, and I'll mention one more thing too. YouTube is like seriously throttling my Christian channel. If you don't know, I run a Christian channel. It is older than Switch to Linux. It has thousands of videos, and like as last week, I was getting like 14 views a day. And one of the videos that I just did last, it was this week. It was the Tuesday video. I log in. It says 13 comments. I look. There's like 1 comment. Even it wasn't Moonbase. No, it was one of the other commenters that is regularly on our program. I won't call him out unless he calls himself out. He actually said, "Yeah, I commented on the video. I never saw his comment." And, you know, I know his logo. I know his name. I've actually had lunch with him, you know, in my travel around the country. And I never saw his comments. Literally, YouTube said 13 comments on this video. And I log in, there's like 1. And then today, 0. And so they are seriously doing that. And I think the reason is the channel crossed the threshold, the subscriber threshold, but they're throttling down the view count. I literally think they're throttling down the view count of that channel, which is frightening. And there is going to be a premiere over there tonight. We are at Hosea chapter 9. We've been going through all of the Old Testament minor prophets. We are on Hosea chapter 9. So you can tune in over there. The channel is Our Walk in Christ, and someone to remind me, we'll drop a link in closer to the later of the show. But yeah, it's crazy, and it makes me wonder: is this channel being seriously throttled at the same time? I think it is. Because we have organically grown close to 60,000 subscribers, and if I get 2,000 views on a video, it's shocking, and which is weird. I mean, maybe people just don't like the content anymore. Who knows? But it's just interesting how all these things play. And if you look at it, it kind of peaked and that fell right back down right about the time the Koofy came out, and I didn't become
content.
What's that?
I think I know what it is. It's a mix of things. It's a mixed bag. You've got a lot of new viewers. They're trying to still fill you out. They might not be on board with all the privacy stuff as extreme as you are. It's probably a little bit of that, but you kind of they gotta fill you out and see if they like you and want to stick with you. Also, a lot of your older viewers have kind of moved on and been watching other channels because. Well,
I mean that happens for sure. But at the same time, it's
the throttling is a lot of it.
Yeah, that's the concern. I have actually seen in the last month or so, I've seen the numbers slowly come back up. Some of that might just be because I've put in, since I stopped doing the regular van life channels, I've had more time to put into this channel, and I feel like the content on this channel is getting better again. And so that's part of it.
It's been real good
lately. I'm really kicking myself because I've not gotten a chance to start editing the next Tinfoil Hat Time, which I recorded like 2 weeks ago. And it's a great video, and I'm just, I don't know, part of me thinks maybe I should bring on an editor or something, because editing is something I'm not I don't have passion for editing. It's not my passion.
Yeah.
And that would be kind of fun. Gavlin, I don't watch any Christian channels, but I would be tempted to watch your channel based on how much I love your Switch Linux content. Well, go ahead and give it a try, man. Watch a video or two and just decide. So the breakdown on that channel, Mondays is a short. It's the only channel I do a consistent short on because we do like read 1 or 2 verses and then I explain what that verse is and we go systematically. So we already did all of James. We're just wrapping up Titus now. Tuesday is the Daily Walk, which is actually available as a podcast anywhere you can find podcasts. It's called our Daily Walk, our Walk in Christ Daily Walk. And we usually just talk about something going on. So the last week's was the Asbury revival, which it's not a revival. When you got women preachers speaking in tongue and casting out demons, not exactly a revival. Just saying. I filmed some stuff. I filmed their live stream the other day, and just to show you the type of stuff going on over there. Was this the one?
Yeah,
that was not it. That was not it. I think it's this one.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. The Asbury revival stuff.
Shh.
Oh, okay.
So these guys, they're just shouting, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. That's not a revival.
It's weird.
You need to change your banner on your screen.
I do need to change the banner on the screen, don't I? I completely forgot to do my banner. Yeah, because I usually do the banner as I set up the stream up, but since I set it up on the big computer and did the doing the stream on the laptop, thank you, I appreciate that. We do need to get into our topic though too. Let me get the banner changed, and then we'll go ahead and get into our topic. What am I calling this thing? I figured it out. Let's see. Okay. Okay.
The time
Be a follower
of Windows.
What's that?
Be a follower, not a. Oh, go ahead.
The time and date of Windows 11.
There we are. All right, there we are. All right. Let's see. Drop a link. Yeah, I will drop a link to the Christian one tonight. Like after we're done, when we're about to wrap up. All right. Let's go ahead and jump on into our articles. So this was one of our. I've been trying to pull our Thursday articles out of the overflow of the news because I'm still gonna have to throw out like 10, 15 articles today for doing the news. So this article here was fascinating, and it was. Don't like Windows 11 system tray date and time? Microsoft may let you turn it off. So for anybody that does not like the most useful feature of Windows, i.e. the clock and the calendar down in the lower corner, there are hints in the latest developer build that suggests you'll be able to toggle that stuff off. You can hide them independently. So hide time and date and system tray. Turn this on to hide your time and date information. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about customizing Linux in this is that, for those people that, want to live in casinos, you guys know casinos don't have windows or clocks intentionally. That is because they want you tied in and addicted to the system. They want you disconnecting from reality. I wonder if this is part of what they're trying to do is get people disconnected from the reality of, what's going on. Or maybe it's more benign reasons. Everyone has their phone attached at the hip anyway, so you're in the habit of clicking the things, see what time it is on the phone. Maybe you don't want it there because we've got to go pure minimalist on everything we do. And so what they're doing here is they are going to give you the ability to turn that on and turn that off. And the reason I pulled this out and just kind of had a somewhat clickbaity-like title is to suggest that, Windows keeps on borrowing things from Linux. And on Linux, we've always had the ability to just take that off if we wanted to. We can move it to the right if we wanted to. We can put it on our desktop with Conky. We can do all sorts of fun stuff with it. But what I wanted to get at here is now Windows wants to give us more customizing options. I do notice we do not have a global option inside of Windows to turn off ads globally. Isn't that interesting? So now we can turn on and off the clock. We can turn on or off a few little minor things, but what we can't turn on or off is advertising. Maybe they just want you to turn off the clock and the date so they can advertise to you more. All right, guys, what do you think about Windows stuff first?
Well, it's kind of funny because with Linux, we get Linux and we build it into what we want. We put it together the way we like it and the way it'll work the best for us. When you get Windows, you have to take everything apart that you don't want and throw it away. I mean, what's left over is what you get.
Amen.
Yeah.
Anything else, Mark?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, I think, honestly, I think Windows needs to come. Windows does need to keep stealing stuff from Linux in order to succeed, because clearly they're not. They've been at this for years, and they're not really cracking it with Windows.
You got to remember, they laid
not.
off half of their team a long time ago.
Well, they're not listening to their customers, because one of the biggest features of Windows 10 is the tiles, live tiles. That's something that I loved and I missed in Windows 10. It's just that live view and being able to resize the tiles and position them how you want them for quick access to all your frequently used stuff on the start menu. They could have done that and kept the center taskbar by default, because you can make that left aligned if you want to. Maybe you do it left aligned by default, because most people, I think, prefer that based on what I've been reading. And I think the tiles, being able to make those bigger and also putting them into groups, bubbles, like you could in Windows 10, is an aesthetic thing that's very surface level. But you gotta admit, most people are gonna want it to look and feel more like Windows 10, really, because I feel like Windows 11 is probably the least popular Windows in a very long time.
Well, let me ask this about the study. Is that study across the broad demographic? Because the way I imagine, I think older people would probably prefer it in the center like I do. I mean, I'm a boomer. That's why I like Linux Mint. I don't want it to be radically different. But I think a lot of younger people do like GNOME. They do like Apple. They do like the approach where you click the button and, all you have now is your list of apps and stuff instead of, the more traditional way to do it, which I like. And the reason I like that direction is I know I can push my mouse all the way to the left really easily in conjunction with hitting the Windows key, pull up the menu, and easily navigate to what I need really fast. I can shoot my mouse all the way to the right side of the screen if I want to hide everything and just see the desktop. So there's things like that. So I think the older demographic might like that more, but I don't know if the older demographic likes up the center. So I haven't seen the study you're talking about. So maybe there's something to that. I don't know.
Well, this was the early days. This was in the early days of just reading kind of sparsely in multiple places online. It seemed like people. The things people were the most complained about the most is the start menu being aligned in the center. It was off-putting to people. It was jarring to people.
Yeah, I thought the implementation of the Windows 11, a center menu that pops up and is still centered on the screen, very small, was totally weird and out of place. I thought that was just strange.
It's a little funky looking. I think it should. I agree with you there. I think it should be larger. And I actually, this is just me, I think it should cover the entire screen.
It don't need to be larger if you take out all the adware that's in it.
Yeah.
Have like a Windows 8.1 dashboard. Yeah, and remove the bloatware, remove the adware, cut down on that. I know they get money, they get kickbacks for those ads.
Well, I mean, but they get money and they get kickbacks from the licenses that are on the system when we sell it. Why are we continuously feeding them more and more money when they've already gotten their cut out of it? And that's the thing that's most irritating to me.
License, I agree.
Yeah, because it's like, this is the operating system. We do not need ads pushed to us in the operating system. But of course, Windows doesn't have the option to toggle off the ads. They just want to have the option to toggle off, the date and time. And they're going to call that customized, I guess. I don't know. Ivan, did you have some thoughts on this?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I'm like, it's like one of the great things on the Linux side is being able to customize things, to a degree. I mean, I've got mine pretty customized, and I can kind of get that on my Linux 10 machine. But it's like the one thing I want to change is the start logo. I want to change that image. Microsoft will never allow that. It's like on Linux, yeah, I change it. I mean, it's very similar to like I've seen your screen from a couple of videos ago. Where you've got the Switch to Linux logo as your start menu icon, and I've got my own custom household one in that spot.
Yeah, I use a picture of Tux.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I think it's great. But then I go on the Windows side and I'm like, yeah, I want to change that. And it's like, yeah, you have to get additional software that can kind of change it. And the one that I have that I happen to get, it's like, yeah, I can pick it, but it's not rigged for, this precise sizing or something. But it's like, it's extra software you actually have to purchase. Yeah, less than $10, but still you have to purchase it. And, with Windows, you're never going to see that particular option. But it's like, when it comes to the clock, it's like, it's like, here we have a bunch of people sitting in a boardroom or a conference room, and someone comes running in like a little gremlin singing something along the lines of like, I want to be like Linux, man, la 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 la. And it just gets annoying. And I see that going on, and that's what I see. Let's be more like Linux Mint. Let's just see what they've got going on. Let's see what we can steal, put out there, and be like, hey, look what we thought of. Isn't this great?
Yeah. It is kind of funny that a lot of the things Windows implements, for a lot of people, don't realize this. If you've been on Windows for a long time, if you're new to Linux, a lot of things Windows has put in the last 10 years, every one of them started on Linux a decade ago, like workspaces. Yeah. They just added them. It wasn't 10. It was like some later version of 10, right? They add workspaces. I hate workspaces. Right. I completely hate them. But for those that like them, yeah, Linux, like I have to go in most Linux distributions that I use, I have to go in and disable the workspaces because I hate them so bad. Maybe that's secretly why I like Linux Mint. There's no default other workspaces. You can add them if you want, but
if you got 4 workspaces in the machine and you accidentally open another one and it covers up the one you're using, then you're like, what the hell? Did the computer delete my work on my space?
Yeah, with the one notable exception, GNOME is designed to work with workspaces in an easier flow. So I love the way GNOME does it, but like XFCE, what the hell are you doing? That's my thought. Yeah. But what are the other fun things that they pulled in? Of course. And you're right, too, though, Ivan. Was it Ivan or was it Mark? I forget. I think it was Mark. The live tiles. The live tiles were the best thing about Windows 10. Like Windows 8. The Windows Phone. The Windows Phone was the best phone UI because of those live tiles. Mm-hmm. And they're like, people like this.
Absolutely.
Let's get rid of this.
I owned one.
Yeah.
I had one. I had a Nokia. I got mine, and I absolutely fell in love for it. I was like, oh, my gosh, this is the best phone I've ever owned. I'd forgotten that I even had one because I had it for such a short
until you
time.
Tried to use it, you realized how much it crashed. The UI was amazing. I liked the overall feel. It's just there's no apps, and it was just crashed constantly.
It was early when I got it, and they dropped it. They didn't stay with it. People got upset because it was kind of half-baked, but I mean, that's what Windows does.
They dropped it to pour more money into Azure server system.
Yeah.
It was a decision where to throw their money more than anything.
Kind of like Ubuntu dropped, they dropped Unity to focus on their cloud, same thing. Any other
Actually, Ubuntu got Unity back.
What's that? There's an Ubuntu official spin now
or something.
Yeah, it's the Ubuntu. I think it's just Ubuntu Unity. I think is what it's called.
You know what? It's an official flavor, though.
Yeah. It was the latest version of The latest LTS that came out with Ubuntu, it was added as an official flavor, which is good. So that's good. Of course, they won't have Flatpaks anymore. And I believe I am talking about that on my Saturday's video. Is already prepped up, and we're going to be talking about Ubuntu's banishing of Flatpaks.
Oh, man.
Like, are you trying to divide the Linux community?
They're really going in a weird direction. I mean, it's more corporate than it is open source at this point.
Well, Ubuntu is, and I think that's why I always mention, it's not everybody hates snaps, not everyone hates Ubuntu, but it's such a divisive distribution because of the philosophies people have. It's the same reason with all of the ideologies going on in America right now. You take some of the issues like the LGBT type stuff, right? And it is highly divisive because people on both ends of the spectrum have very, very strong views and opinions about it. It makes it very hard to come to a agreement in the center and a compromise in the center. Well, that's what Ubuntu is doing. We have to realize that 50% of the people that come to Linux are coming to Linux because it's a great development option. They don't really care about the privacy. They're just like, whatever, hey, it works. This is the platform. They got a Raspberry Pi. Look what the cool thing this does. But half of the people that come to Linux are like, I am sick of this nonsense, so much so I went nuclear on my computers and I'm staying away from the corporate America. So Ubuntu is right in that center where they're focusing so much on the developers, which is a logical choice. Somebody's got to do it because the developers are some of the ones bringing in the VC capital. They are the ones with some money. They are the ones that can drive things in a way that a lot of your free and open source community necessarily cannot. And so
they did not have to enforce the other flavors to get rid of Flatpaks. They could have left that alone as is, and have Ubuntu proper just be what it's going to grow into.
Well, to defend what they did and why they did it, what they said is it has to do with what they're going to officially support. Since they do not want to officially support Flatpaks because they want to officially support snaps, they made it part of the Ubuntu core. And to be an official flavor, you have to adhere to the Ubuntu core. And that's really what it came into. It makes sense from their perspective. I don't agree with it, but it does make sense from their perspective.
From what I read, that they actually had the Flatpak. The Flatpak driver system came pre-installed with Ubuntu, and that's what they were complaining about. Mm-hmm. You can still get Ubuntu and install the Flatpak driver system and then put your Flatpaks in it if you want.
And it's one command. It's sudo apt install Flatpak. It's not a big deal. But of course, that does mean you're probably going to have to manually configure FlatHub as well, and you might have to manually add the FlatHub plugins for.
It's not hard. I do it in Debian all the time.
Yeah.
You just go to.
I think it's.
You go to the FlatHub, or the Flatpak page, and it tells you for every distro how to set it up to work.
Yeah.
I think it's a terrible idea. I think you're gonna have one or the other. We got to get rid of. If everybody wants the Universal App Store, have the Universal App Store in the repository.
Then you're no better than Microsoft.
And that's a problem. I completely support the choice. I completely do. The only thing I don't like is I don't like it when when they focus on the snaps, they get some big application like Firefox to agree to put the snap in, and then they do the snap and they're going to help with the snap, and Firefox maybe doesn't want to do the Flatpak, which they do, but we're just using that as a generic application. And then Ubuntu stops maintaining the repository version of the package. Yeah. That's your biggest concern. And that's why I think that in the hierarchy, I always prefer the repository version first. I might do a PPA second, a deb third, and then look at the Flatpak or Snap.
Well, you got to think, we've got about, and people are going to scoff at this immediately, but you don't understand. We have like about 8 ways to install Linux applications. Yep. Tarballs, flats, snaps, app images, repositories, Python scripts. That's 6. I'm only 2 more away. What am I forgetting?
Everything a vanilla OS does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, you don't have to have all this.
He is right, because when you use a
Debian,
when you use a Debian install, you do have to fish around for them tarballs and stuff like that if you want newer stuff.
Yeah. So I mean, there's some things. I think we completely went we went all East Palestine on this one. We're off the rails. As far as Linux customization, just to bring us back, the looking at Microsoft doing yet another thing, just adopting one more just minor customization changes, got me thinking about the GUI modifications that we have the full freedom of doing in Linux. And that to me was one of the first things when I switched back to Linux full time and going, wow, I like using my computer again for that reason. Anybody else have that experience, or do you want to talk about what specific customizations you do? Salbu, do you have anything? You've been pretty quiet today.
Yeah, I was
watching.
No, oh yeah, I was having some problems with my browser that I was debugging, so I haven't been paying attention, unfortunately. But
that's all right. We can pass to somebody else if you want.
Yeah, I will listen in on and then give a comment afterwards.
All right.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like a clock, especially for Windows. It'd probably take a programmer 15 minutes to make it do what it wants to do. I mean, if it's a service, they can choose to turn the service on or off. It does. The article blows it up a lot bigger than it really is.
It is. In fact, I was wondering about I looked at this going, is this just an article do an article? I mean, look who the author is. Is this really Joe Rogan? Like, is this it kind of reminds me of, what's the name of that other publication? I rarely ever use their articles because I can't verify who the authors really are. They're like Tyler Durden is the guy who writes most of them. It's a picture of Brad Pitt. It's like, do I need to take you seriously? What is the name of that publication? I forget.
I use 2 monitors, and one of the features I like that's in the Desklet app thing, I forgot what they call that, but the Desklet application is that you can add another clock to your desktop. So on my second monitor over on the left at the bottom corner, I have a much larger clock that I can see really easily at a.
Uh-oh. So I hit the power switch on my computer, and for whatever reason, when I hit the power switch, it tends to cause some negative impacts on how the computer system works, and for whatever reason that is. So I think it just completely killed Jitsi, and it might have knocked out several other things as well. And I know OBS right now is struggling. It's not redlining, but it's not pushing enough data. So we're going to wait for this to reconnect, and I'm going to see if there's another alternative. I might be able to run it better off of my power supply. Yep. Now OBS is like, we don't know what we're doing. Okay, almost back. And join meeting. Join meeting. All right, meeting is joined. Interesting. We're going to kill the power again. So we hit the power button and it completely shut every system down. Like, if anybody can explain how that happens on my computer, that'd be really cool. If I plug it in,
I would think that's what the power button is for, isn't it?
No, it's like charging, like plugging it in to charge it. Just plug in a charger. We're going to try the portable charger, see if that kills it the same way.
Yeah, the YouTube stream froze too.
Yeah, everything went down. Okay, this is running a little bit
It
better.
could be that it's in the briefs.
Uh-oh. Nope, that's messing with everyone as well. Let me switch that back off.
Down.
Okay, so we might just have to wrap up the stream really quick because, frankly, it's one of those weird things because last week we ran the power just fine. And right now, if I hit the power switch, it's just going to freeze stuff. We're going to give it one more try and see what happens. But if anybody has any weird ideas as to why my laptop will not function well when I plug it in, it functions great when I don't plug it in. So yeah, like right now, OBS is starting to fall again. But we only have 4 minutes left of power if I unplug it. I think everyone is frozen out on me though, because I feel like I'm talking to myself and I can't hear any background chatter, and OBS dropped to nothing. And okay.
Can worth a hoot.
Yeah, I think what we're going to have to do is I have 3 minutes remaining in my power, so we're going to wrap the stream up really, 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 really fast. For whatever reason, this computer does not work well when this is done. So we're going to wrap it up here. I think we covered a lot of fun stuff. My apologies, I didn't get to comments. Sometimes the computer works great when I plug things in. Sometimes it doesn't. Let me try one more thing, though, and that is I'm going to try fiddling with the power cable a little bit.
Maybe you need to add some capacitors into your line.
Okay, that seems better.
Like
I'm wondering if part of it is, let's see, that says it's good. This says it's fine. We're running right now. It almost seems, nope, whole system went into frozen mode.
Don't you have a portable battery pack thingy that you can plug it into?
Well, I mean, I have one. Here's the problem. When I take this computer and plug it into a power pack, like if I plug it into the AC adapter, sometimes it just freezes the system down. Now, I think I have it right now. So let me see if I'm going to move the power adapter over to the main van inverter, though, and see if that fixes any problems. Stand by. If not, it's going to shut everything down, and then we'll see you all tomorrow.
Got it.
Bye.
And nice seeing you tonight.
I was like, ah!
Okay, I get my battery critically low again. Okay, so here's what I think it might be. I think it might just be this particular computer. The power adapter, you can spin the plug a little bit, and sometimes it doesn't make a full connection, and sometimes it does make a full connection. And if it doesn't make a full connection, it seems like it kills the background. But I've spun it, and now I seem to have a full connection. And
does the laptop have a battery in it?
Oh, yeah, of course. I was running it on battery.
If it has a battery in it, it shouldn't be that hard of a yank on the power supply.
Yeah, that's why it's weird, because it does weird stuff when I plug it in, but not all the time. It's a weird effect that I've observed. And I actually observed it doing video editing with this computer, where it'll edit a video flawlessly if I'm on battery. If I plug in the battery, then it starts stuttering and becomes unusable. But like right now, it's doing fine after I spun the plug a little bit. Now, mind you, I just replaced the power port in this computer not too long ago, so I'd be hard pressed to think it's broken again. But it's possible.
And you're using a real sine wave converter.
Yeah, it's pure sine wave. Which honestly, that really wouldn't make a difference, because a modified sine wave converter inverter would work perfectly fine on a AC to DC laptop charger. They don't have any impact on those. It's and I've tried it on 2 different pure sine wave inverters, and I've also tried it on the internal van battery system, which runs directly from my batteries, does a step up to 19 volts directly into the computer. So I think it just has to do with spinning it. So the thing is that if I can see that the power port is in, which I'm showing right now, and I have the light attached to the power plug, that seems to be the fix for it. So I think we're back. I think we're good. I think we're still here. And I think we can probably finish the show. Although our show has derailed a long time ago. So anybody else want to talk about customizations or their GUI customizations, or should we just go on to something else?
I don't know. I'm pretty well customized. I just got the regular bar at the bottom, like you probably got for Cinnamon, with a few things on it for quick launch.
Yeah, I'm
I
kind
got
of
the
the same.
taskbar thing with the printer, the Steam, and the audio controls and stuff like that.
Something I like specifically about Linux is the plank, to where you can have a little dock.
Mm-hmm.
I like to put mine on the side of the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've been known to like move it over to the right side sometimes, which is like supposed to be like blasphemy or whatever to Windows users. But I like the fact that I can choose not to have like a full bar, and I can just make a small dock on the bottom if I really want to, and I can get rid of my panel altogether if I really wanted to. And just it's just so versatile. I mean, I don't really do a lot of customization. I just kind of take it as is, and I do my plank dock, and it's a real simple dock on the side, and then I put my bar on top. So I move my bar. Now you can move your bar in Windows on top.
Yep.
And you can move it on the sides, but if you move it on the sides in Windows, it doesn't do like a XFCE like MX Linux does. It's real nice in MX Linux. It doesn't do that with Windows, and you can't resize it. You can't resize your bar. So yeah.
Is YouTube working for you guys? So OBS is feeding data just fine. The other streams, I'm not seeing anybody complaining about them. But YouTube keeps on buffering and giving me errors.
YouTube's just buffering the buff.
All right. Yeah. I think let's see.
Yeah, Odyssey
OBS is feeding just fine.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Yeah, I have both YouTube and Rumble open, and the image is frozen, but the audio seems fine.
Okay, so audio's good. I'm guessing that might be the same over here. OBS, like I said, OBS is not redlined yet. I mean, I have 0 drop frames. I've not redlined. I have drawn a little bit low, so we're dancing a little bit lower with bitrate, but not horribly low.
Yeah, on Rumble, I got sound, but the picture's not doing much.
Yeah, everyone is saying on YouTube things not going well. So I'd say we'll go ahead and wrap this stream up here.
Yeah.
And I think it's a problem with occasionally this laptop just does weird stuff when I plug it in. I think that's really what the case is. We got to figure out why that is, and maybe that's the issue. So like right now, OBS is feeding all the data it should be feeding.
Yeah, I'm getting sound from Odyssey and Rumble, but the pictures aren't moving or nothing.
Yeah.
Sound is okay. Audio's not. Buffering bad there too. Sorry, we can't do comments. Yeah. I think we're gonna have to jump off. It's doing weird stuff. You just want to read comments? If video's just buffering, we can just do comments.
So that sentence there didn't sound right, or I was hearing it wrong. It sounds
if
like
you want to do comments, the sound still is working.
Yeah, it sounded like you said that the sound is okay, but the audio is not working.
Set your low battery at 25% and not deal with the almost dead issue. My battery was at 3%.
Yeah,
we'll have to wrap it up. The sound and video is terrible.
I don't know. It's like right now. Is it still buffering right now? It is. Like I don't know. It's. I'm wondering if OBS messed up because it logged out. It logged me out for a brief second. I jumped back in. I'm wondering if that might be part of the problem that OBS is like. What are you doing?
Yeah, it might need its cache cleared or something.
Rabbit hole to hell.
I think if I'd gotten it plugged in with my idea before it hit 3%, I think that it would probably have been fine. But I think once the computer decided to temporarily log me out, I think that is what messed me all up. Laptop supply is bad. No, it's not the laptop power supply either, because I have a few different charging cables I can use. All of them do it. I've actually tried it.
Plus, it has a charged battery in it.
What's that?
Plus, it has a charged battery in it.
Well, no, I mean it doesn't right now. That's the problem. It's something weird on this system where when I plug in the AC adapter, sometimes it impacts the performance of the computer in ways that are just completely unexplainable to me.
Yeah, so